I have missed all of you guys. If you subscribe to me, you know that I like making very aesthetic content, but this week's video is going to be a little bit different, and that is because I will be reviewing an art class. If you've stumbled upon Class 101 and you're a little bit curious as to if I should sign up for this, what does this entail? I tried to look up reviews about their classes, but there weren't that many, so I decided that I would make a video about it. So if you've been following me on Instagram, you have been noticing that I have been drawing quite a lot. So I will show you some of my drawings. So here are some of my drawings. I have been drawing a lot of toasts, a lot of cute pastries, and trees. This is the latest one I did, which is actually a cafe. If you are wondering, hey, should I take this class? I'm really bored, I'm stuck at home all the time and I need something to do, then this video will explain all about that and a little bit more. So full disclosure, I got this class sponsored to me, but I wasn't paid to talk about it. I wouldn't recommend it unless I really believed in it and it was good, because that's just the person that I am. Right now, I don't know how it is where you are, but where I am, everyone is still very much in quarantine and I was stuck at home all the time and I was just so, I wouldn't say bored, but just kind of unmotivated. There was so much I wanted to do, but I just felt so unmotivated being at home doing the same routine. So taking this class really helped me through that, helped me find my love for drawing again in a way that, I don't know, I just felt so much change in me from taking this class. I don't know if it's me being stuck at home, if it's me picking up a new hobby, or being excited to learn something that I wasn't able to learn before. It really helped me during this time, which is why I'm recommending it to all of you. So a little bit background, I'm very comfortable using ink liners. I already know how to use them, but I'm not great at coloring. Coloring is one of those things where I don't know what it is. I've just never been very strong at applying color to any sort of illustration. And I've always wanted to use these types of markers. They're called Copic markers. I actually used them a little bit when I wanted to do cartooning, but it never was in fruition. And I really wanted to illustrate all the places that I've been to, all my memories, and do something that was fun and different. I do have some art training. When I was a kid, I loved to draw. And when I was in high school, I took college level art classes. I went to Academy of Art during the summer. I took figure drawing, I took acrylic painting, I took a bunch of very classical art classes, and I also took cartooning and animation, and I've always really loved art. So I'll be telling you my experience with Class 101 versus these classical art classes. So the class that I signed up for was an illustration class with this artist named RINI'S, and I really loved it. It was one of my favorite art classes I've ever taken because it was so fun and engaging and just easy in a way that you can get into it and you really start drawing very quickly, versus a lot of traditional classes where they make you do a lot of prep work before you actually get into it. So in this particular class that I took, how it was structured was practice with the supplies for the first few lessons. And then you start simple by drawing two-dimensional drawings, like things from a top-down view. Then you kind of graduate into more of a 3/4 view, and then perspective comes a little bit later. So during the lesson, you kind of live draw with her. She'll explain some of the concepts that you're gonna be involved in, whether that's perspective or shading, which I find to be very useful. A lot of time when I took art class, your drawing class, there's a person there and the teacher kind of tells you what to do, but you're just kind of doing it on your own. Her class was very, very structured, which I actually loved. Very informative and very easy to follow. I loved this class so much. So overall, I think that this class is very easy for beginners. If you don't know a lot about drawing and you're but I kind of want to learn, I want to do something fun and interesting in quarantine, or just for yourself, you just want to develop a different set of skills, I think that this class is definitely for you. The thing I loved about this class is that I find that a lot of traditional art classes, you have so much prep work. Learn how to shade, learn how to do this, and learn how to do that. And this teacher, RINI'S, she moves so quickly. At the end of each class, you really feel so fulfilled. You just kind of hit the ground running. And she explains concepts in a way that's really easy to understand, in a way that feels very relatable. Because sometimes I find that when teachers explain different techniques, overthink it and it becomes really hard, but for her, everything is very simple and in a way that makes sense. Class goes so quick, which I personally really like, because there's nothing that's worse than when you take an art class and you're like, oh my gosh, I just spent 6 hours and I have nothing to show for it. So the whole course, I think it's around 10 hours, but that doesn't include if you draw outside the class, and it doesn't include how fast you draw. I finished this course in about a week and a half, but I was very aggressive about it. I got really obsessed with drawing and I did so many drawings outside of class, but I still managed to finish in about a week and a half. I do think that that is very fast. That is me doing this after work every day. I think if you're more of like a leisurely person, it could take up to a month. I'm not sure if this is with all the classes, but there is a 100-day limit, so you can view all videos for up to 100 days, and after that, the course is kind of over, which I actually kind of like, because I feel like I have signed up for a lot of classes that were indefinite, and because they were indefinite, there was no time constraint, and there was no like urgency to sort of do the class. So I actually really like that there is a limit, and if you don't finish in 100 days, you don't get the content anymore. It puts a sense of urgency and accountability that you will finish the coursework, which I really liked. Here is like general Class 101 review. So Class 101 is actually a very big company, so it's not sketch at all. I think it's just relatively new for the English speaking market. It is a Korean education company, but with that said, it's really big over there. They teach a lot in the arts department, but it's a lot of different types of classes. I think they are focusing on art in the English speaking market, but just take that into consideration that yes, it is a legitimate company. There are different chapters of the class, and you can view them on your iPad, you can view them on your phone, which I found very useful, because for me, I don't really like using a laptop. I find that there's a lot of distractions, like I have emails, and I don't know why I don't really prefer to view videos on my laptop, so I really liked using my iPad and being able to browse the chapters in that way. View everything through iPad, through phone, through your computer, and one thing that I really like about the player is that it has speed functions, which I find really useful, because sometimes when I'm drawing and the instructor is going very quick, I like to slow it down so I can sort of catch up with them. When you sign up for the class, there is an option to get the course materials. So this class was sponsored to me, but I had to buy the supplies on my own because they had a warehouse issue. Because I didn't get the supplies through them, it was kind of difficult, in my opinion, to find the same supplies. I didn't get the same type of notebook, but I found a very similar notebook. And cost-wise, I did the comparison, and buying all the supplies on your own is equally, if not more expensive than if you were to get the supplies through them. And one more thing that's really important is that with the supplies, they give you printouts of the coursework, which is very useful, because for me, I had to sort of view all of the images on my phone as I was looking at the video, and it's just so much nicer having all the coursework printed out. You have it in front of you and you can reference it, versus going on my phone and zooming in. Depending on which class you take, the teachers might speak in their native language, which might not be English. If you're taking a course, to be aware of what language it is. But with that said, there are some courses that they're teaching in English, so that's really good to know. Okay, cost-wise, like to be honest, I feel like the value of the class is really worth the cost. So I've seen in the comments that some people are like, oh, this is very expensive. But when you think about how much an actual class is, like a college class, in comparison, it's actually not that bad. I don't know where you're from. Where I am, classes are very expensive. Everything is very expensive where I am. I actually think that this class was really worth it if you think about it from the viewpoint that this isn't just a video. There's a lot of interaction. There's students in there. The teacher constantly responds. Like, she responds within a day or a day and a half, and when she doesn't, she apologizes for not responding on time. Like, it's incredible. I think if you think about it from that perspective, I personally think that the cost is justified. I haven't taken a lot of online classes, to be honest, that were art classes, but one thing I really loved about this was that they had a whole online community. You can post your drawings from each lesson, and people actually did it because they had this really cool mechanic where they would reward you with some sort of point system if you were to post a photo of what you worked on. And sometimes it's really nice because, you know, if you do some of the coursework that's outside of what they recommend, to see how your classmates are shading certain things or drawing certain things. This one image where, you know, I was drawing a sushi and I was like, oh, I wonder how I should shade this. What color should I use? And I actually found someone else's sushi and I was like, oh, it's really interesting how they mixed this color with that color. I think the community is really important in that way because it kind of inspires you to see other people drawing as well. And the teacher also reviews your coursework. I was actually so touched because normally I feel like, you know, they would just say like, oh, this looks good, this looks good. But Rini really like sent me a full paragraph of like things I could improve on and recommendations and everything. And I just felt like she really cared about her class. So I absolutely loved this class. I didn't think that I would love it so much. I thought, hey, I'm gonna learn how to use markers and that's kind of gonna be it. I think the best thing about this particular class is it's really fun. I found myself drawing for hours every day because I was so excited about the classwork and it was just such a fun class. It's just easy going. It's a very easy going, go with the flow class. No matter what your skill set, if you're a pro or if you're beginner, I feel like it's a very good class for everyone to take. I think after this class, I'm actually gonna take another class for watercolor because this has just been so fun, so therapeutic. There's something really amazing about doing something physically with your hands. Because I'm on the computer all the time, and just doing something differently just stimulates a different part of my brain. I think that is in much need of stimulation right now because I'm at home all the time. Yeah, I hope that this video was informative. If you have any questions about the class, just DM me, I'm always here. I actually started an art Instagram account because I thought that, hey, I should probably put all my drawings somewhere. So please follow my Instagram and my art Instagram account if you want to see more of my journey. Yeah, maybe I'll do some draw with me videos in the future. But yeah, I had so much fun taking this class. This was like the best. That was my mini review of Class 101. I hope you all really enjoy it. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe for my other fun casual content. And I'll see you next time. Bye!